Before we get started in this video, I just want to say congratulations to Ousmane Dembele for winning the Ballon d'Or. Congratulations to Ousmane Dembele for winning the France Ballon d'Or, for being crowned as the best player in the world. Congratulations to Ousmane Dembele. Because I'm going to be real here, my issue is not with Ousmane Dembele. My issue is not with the top two. My issue is not with Ousmane Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or over Lamine Yamal. That is not my issue whatsoever, okay? Ousmane Dembele is a deserved winner of the Ballon d'Or, okay? Let's keep it real here. He won probably every trophy he could have competed in besides the Club World Cup, which, to be honest, is an irrelevant trophy anyways. Every trophy he competed in, he won in, and he performed well in, okay? While I do have my doubts that he was consistent throughout the whole season, because I do feel like the first half of the season, he was kind of, not that good. But you know what? Fair play to you, Ousmane Dembele. Deserved. You won the Ballon d'Or. I feel like either if between these three, Lamine Yamal and Ousmane Dembele, and the person that I am about to talk about in this video, I'll talk about it. Before I talk about anything, before I lose my head, before I go on a rant, can you, if you guys could please like, subscribe, and share all the videos I post. Comment your thoughts on all of that. We're so close to 1K. 91% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so if you guys can subscribe, show some support, I would appreciate that. Okay, like I said, let me get all my nice feelings out the way. Ousmane Dembele, congratulations for the Ballon d'Or. Congratulations, a double assist in the UCL final, scored against Arsenal, all of those nice stuff. Congratulations to Ousmane Dembele. Okay, now everyone understand that? I'm not mad about Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or. Let's keep it real. I'm not mad about Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or. Okay, we all understand that. We're all clear now. This is where I have an issue with the ranking. This is where I feel like all things thought of in the process, about the whole ranking, about everything that involves in this ranking, about the fact that big games, how does big games play a role in this? This is why I start to have an issue about this ranking. Let's look at this. Let's look at the top 10 for the Ballon d'Or. Okay, 10 you have Nuno Mendes. First of all, I feel like you should be way higher. Okay, 10 you have Nuno Mendes. 9 you have John Ruma. Okay, deserved. 8 you have Cole Palmer. How has Cole Palmer gotten to a top 10 list? I don't know. That's a conversation for a whole nother day, because this is not why I'm making this video. 7th, Kylian Mbappe. Cool. 6th, Hakimi. Cool. 5th is Rafinha. Rafinha is 5th for the Ballon d'Or. And above him, the two people above him, is Vitinha and Mohamed Salah. Vitinha and Mohamed Salah over Rafinha. This is where I start questioning a lot of things about football. Okay, this is where I start questioning a lot of things about, best player in the world category. Best player in the world category. This is where I start questioning everything. Because to me, Vitinha, he's not even the best midfielder in the world. He's probably not even the best midfielder on his team. Okay, to be honest, I rate João Neves higher than him. I think João Neves is more important to that PSG team than him. Okay, that's first. Okay, second of all, how big does the Champions League really play in here? How big does the Champions League, how big does it rank you up? Does it rank you up as high as you think? Does it rank you up as high as you say Ballon d'Or, or does it not? Because Salah, Mohamed Salah, how highly do you rate the Premier League, by the way? That's another question. How highly do you rate the Premier League? Because now I'm starting to see inconsistencies. I'm starting to see questions. Haaland, okay? Haaland, who won the Premier League, who broke so many records in the Premier League, who won the Champions League. Why did Messi win the Ballon d'Or over Haaland? Which, by the way, I think it was deserved. I'm not arguing Haaland should win the Ballon d'Or over Messi, but I think that the credit you're using right now in your head, you're prioritizing the better competition, you're prioritizing it higher than, the Premier League, the Champions League, considering it was a World Cup year. Okay, that's first. Okay, now you're prioritizing the Premier League over all three of La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Champions League. This is what I'm hearing from you now. Now I'm starting to see a bit of inconsistency. Then why didn't you give the Ballon d'Or to Virgil van Dijk? Why didn't you give the Ballon d'Or to Virgil van Dijk? Why didn't you give the Ballon d'Or to Eden Hazard in the 2015 season or whatever season it was that he balled out and whatever he did? Why didn't you give the Ballon d'Or to Harry Kane? Why wasn't he why weren't they in the top 3, top whatever it was? So this is where I start to have questions about the Ballon d'Or. Now let's talk about this season. Let's talk about this current state right now. Why is Rafinha 5th? Why is he anywhere below 4th? Why is Salah above Rafinha? Let's look at both of their seasons. Let's look at both of their seasons objectively, okay? First start of the season, okay? First of all, to be part of the Ballon d'Or conversation, in my opinion, you have to be consistent throughout the whole season, okay? Best player in the world, okay? For the whole year. No, best player of the year, okay? Best player of the year, you have to be consistent throughout the whole year, which is one of the reasons why I said Rodri deserves it over Vinny, because Rodri was consistent throughout the whole year. Vinny had a poor start in 2024, okay? That's first. So let's look at the full year thing, okay? At the start of the season, both players were absolutely firing. Both players were doing amazing up until the first start of the season to January. In January, I think Salah was 2 assists away from breaking the Henry's record, and he was, I don't know how much goals he had in the Premier League, and then was it like 16 or something? And then Salah ended the season with I forgot how many goals, but my main thing is he did not even break Thierry Henry's assist, which he was 2 assists away from breaking. Okay, that's the first thing we get into the ladder stage. The second part of the ladder stage, he had a super early exit in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Not just having an early exit, but he did not perform anywhere higher than a 5 out of 10. Anywhere higher than a 5 out of 10. He was completely non-existent in both legs. He was completely nullified for 180 minutes. He did absolutely nothing for 180 minutes. And then we move on to the Carabao Cup final, another cup final against Newcastle. Again, you did absolutely nothing for 90 minutes straight. Newcastle dogged y'all, and they won 2-1 in the Carabao Cup final, and y'all had a round of 16 exit. And, okay, I'm not talking about Liverpool right now. I'm talking about the player. Individually, he did not do good in any of those games. And those were the biggest games he played the whole season. Okay, now let's look at Rafinha in the biggest game he played the whole season. Inter, the first leg, he scored a goal and he got an assist. Okay, that's the first leg. The second leg, he also scored a last-minute goal. And if it wasn't for Ronald Araujo, let's not forget, this is an individual Ballon d'Or. It's not like Rafinha made an own goal. Ronald Araujo sold Barcelona, okay, and Barcelona lost against Inter. Fair enough. But who is the person that showed up for us in the last minute to get us to goal? And not even that. There was also a last-minute chance for Lamine Yamal, which Rafinha made an incredible pass to Lamine Yamal. So you tell me who's shown up in the big games. In all the El Clasicos, who's shown up? Who has shown up in all the Clasicos? In the hardest Champions League game we played, which I presume to be Bayern, with the hardest Champions League game, he scored a hat-trick on them. He scored a hat-trick on Bayern. In the Super Cup final, he scored a brace, I think it was. He scored a brace. In the Copa del Rey final, he didn't score or assist, but he still had an incredible performance if you watch the game. He wasn't nullified for 90 minutes. He still had a good performance if you watch the game. Okay, I know some people here don't watch the game and they just say, oh, he had no GA. If you watch the game, you'll understand. He didn't have any GA, but he still performed good. And meanwhile, all that he was carrying his national team on his back, almost scoring and assisting the entire time he played there. And also, he got the most GA in the Champions League, equaling Ronaldo's record, having scored 0 penalties. Having scored 0 penalties, he got 21 GA in the Champions League. 21 GA, having scored 0 penalties. 0. Keep that in mind. 0 penalties. I hope you hear what I'm saying. Most GA in Europe having had 0 penalties. And that gets you 5th in the Ballon d'Or? He won a domestic treble. He won all the trophies in Spain. And he got knocked out by 1 goal in the UCL semifinal, which he got 3 GA in between both ties. And he got GA in every single knockout round he played. And you're telling me he gets 5th, and the guy that's above him, he had a round of 16 exit and lost in the Carabao Cup final, and both games had 0 effect on it. And the guy in third, I don't even know what to say anymore. How is Vitinha third? I will never know. I will never know how is Vitinha third because I don't even consider this guy the best midfielder on his team. So how Vitinha is third, I will never know. But Rafinha being fifth, ladies and gentlemen, that is the biggest robbery you've seen in this past whole year. You've seen games that have been robberies. You've seen a lot of Madrid games that have been robberies. You've seen a lot of whatever games that have been robberies. This does not compare to those levels. Rafinha fifth is one of the biggest crimes. Genuinely, I was so shocked when I saw on my TV. Rafinha fifth, which had the most GA in Europe. I don't even know what to say anymore, bro. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know how to look at this objectively from the Ballon d'Or's point of view. I don't know how to look at this. Because if you're talking about big games, Rafinha's up there. He's probably #1 candidate up there. I don't understand, bro. I don't get it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time, bro.